Hi guys, it's Jennifer Don Gabiola again, and I'm excited to do another interview with a new friend of mine for our, May is Asian American Pacific Islander Month in the US, and it's also Asian Heritage Month in Canada. And so my next guest is actually in Canada. So I'm so excited for you to meet her, but the purpose of this series is to really honor our legacy, our ancestors, what it means to be an Asian, especially as a female, and an entrepreneur, and just share a little bit about our story and hopefully help encourage other people to understand what it's like to be a leader in whatever God is calling us to do, and also to just share the joy that all of us are being called to do through our passion. So I'm so excited for you to meet Helen, because this is a new friend of mine and we connected. I want to share more about how we connected, but I just wanted to introduce you to Helen. Hi.
Thanks, Jen. Oh, I love the little high pitch. Really great to meet everyone. I am so excited to be here with you all and with Jen, and really excited to tell you about Enoki Bathhouse and talk about my journey in my Asian-esque, all my Asian glory.
Your Asian glory. That's awesome. So, well, why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about you and your business, and then we'll kick it off there.
Definitely. So my business is called Enoki Bathhouse, and it's a tea-based bath experience for people to create their own mini bathhouse at home, or think of it as an at-home spa. And the goal of it is to use really natural ingredients like tea, very unconventional, natural, whole ingredients for the bath experience to really immerse yourself and just really transform that experience. So I think one of my goals for creating this business was really addressing my personal need. I struggled with insomnia for quite a little while. I couldn't get more than 2 hours of sleep in, and creating a really nice bath experience for myself was what really helped me with my mental health and a lot of my anxiety. So I really wanted to bring that to other people, and it kind of blew up on TikTok. So now I'm committed. Now it's a business that I have to commit to bringing forward, because initially it was just an idea and now I'm incorporated. And
oh, congratulations.
Thanks, Jen. But yeah, in summary, bath business that is really reimagining at-home baths and the overall relaxing experience at home.
That's awesome. So where does the name Enoki come from?
Okay, so this is a backstory that okay, so Enoki is a Japanese last name, and there can be a lot of meanings behind it. But when I was trying to think of a name for Enoki Bathhouse, I was thinking about hinoki. So hinoki trees are commonly used for a lot of the bath accessories and tools that you would normally find in Japan. A lot of baths are made with hinoki wood, and it just it smells so aromatic and so nice and so fragrant. And when it's combined with hot water and steam, it just smells really natural. And so I took the H and it was Enoki, and I thought that was such a beautiful name. I didn't realize that I thought Enoki was a first name and not a last name. And usually last names carry more meaning in terms of lineage, as opposed to first name is just kind of summarizing something nice. And when I was Googling what Enoki could possibly mean, one of the first definitions that came up was born during troubled times. And I'm gonna be honest, immediately I was so excited, because I thought, oh, this bath business was created and born during a time when I struggled with my own mental health. This is perfect. I didn't do much more research into that. And so I just created Enoki Bathhouse. And I think once I began, because I'm not Japanese, I'm Chinese, and I didn't really quite think about any of the implications of using a Japanese name, just because I thought about Japanese wood. But then I learned that Enoki is actually a last name, and it's more respectful for if you have any ties with people with the Enoki lineage, then you should be able to use it. But I didn't realize that, and now I love the name, but I wish I was Japanese so I could wear it a bit more proudly. So now I'm a little nervous about it, but that is the story behind how I named Enoki Bathhouse.
Oh, wow. Is that on your website? I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, after I found that out, I put a little update in the about me section around the to respect the lineage name of
Yeah.
Enoki. And I plan to do a bit more communications around that.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. And I read that you love the story, the animated movie Spirited Away, which is one of my favorite movies. I mean, I saw it many times, but the first time I saw it, I was like, it like transcended me into another place. I was like, what is this? You know, I fell in
Oh
love.
my
So
God, yeah.
you want to talk about that? Your
Oh
inspiration?
my gosh. So growing up in Canada, I didn't have a lot of I didn't have a lot of like TV shows that I related to, but the one that I distinctly remember as like part of my childhood was Spirited Away. And I think Spirited Away, it was so, I feel like Spirited Away was really ahead of its time.
Yes.
I mean, all of the Studio Ghibli films are just like so timeless, but I felt like Spirited Away was just so incredible. It was so magical,
Yes.
and it completely made me reimagine baths as something that was spiritual and sacred. Because like
Yes.
baths as a kid, like yes, it's like fun. I mean, like baths were just, it was just like another way to like clean myself. It wasn't really anything special.
Right.
But yeah, after Spirited Away, I reimagined baths, spirits, dragons, like just Asia. Just yeah, it was really
Yeah.
magical.
Oh, what you said about reimagining bath so it's sacred. I think that's why I resonate with you and your vibe, because I feel like we'll talk more about this, but I just feel like how you express yourself does express this sort of sacredness of taking a moment to yourself. You know,
Yeah.
especially as an Asian, it's really important. Sometimes we're taught to work.
Yeah.
Like that's our purpose. But I feel like, you know, I sense that you're like almost creating a movement of saying to our Asian culture, but especially women in general, to just say, you know, we deserve to take a moment to ourselves,
Exactly.
to be with ourselves, and that sense of sacredness can be carried even beyond the bath, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I never saw my mom take a break, to be honest. Like when I was
yeah,
growing up, she was a single mom. She raised my sister and I. My sister and I, like, it's almost like so funny. Like we love our mom, but it's almost like it's like she was this stranger to us in our childhood because she was just always absent. And it was
working,
because she was
yeah,
always
working,
working.
yeah,
And so I never learned about like taking breaks. And so I think that's why in my career, like when I was starting out my career, I was just always grinding because I never I to me, like work is life is work. Like
yeah,
it's fluid. There's no like 9 to 5. It's more you work until you're tired and then you take a break and then you keep working.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
carving that intentional time is just so important.
Yeah, that's why I really feel like I was going to mention this at the end when we talk about legacy, but I really feel like whether you plan this or not, what I'm receiving from what you're doing is like you're really taking a stand for um, our well-being as Asians, as women, as human beings. You know, to understand that our purpose, we're worth more than what we produce.
Yeah,
And it took
absolutely.
me a long time personally because I was a workaholic, and I got rheumatoid arthritis. So that was like my turning point for me to go more inward. Like as an introvert, I
Mm,
recognized I had to go inward and not identify myself so much with external validation. What I did, my job, how much I made, how I look. It's like for so long I identified with that, but on my entrepreneurial journey, I realized, to sustain anything worth that has meaning, it has to come from the heart, right? And I feel like
yeah.
that's what you're doing. Is that for those of you, I'm going to share how I found Helen. Is I think someone shared your TikTok on Instagram in their stories, and I was so moved. I was just like, oh my God, who is this lady? And like how she's creating is gorgeous. It's exquisite. I was just like, I watched her video over and over again. And we'll talk more about that in a second, but I was just like, I could feel your heart, and I just feel like that's very special, and that's how you stand out. Especially for those of you who are introverts, take a cue from Helen, because go to her TikTok, go to her Instagram, because how she expresses herself is so heartfelt, and that is how, you know, we as introverts, we can honor ourselves as sacred and express ourselves with a sense of power and creativity that's rooted in something real. You don't have to be like loud and do stuff that doesn't feel right to you. You just do things that feel natural, but it gives you life, right? So
Absolutely.
I wanted to mention that. So okay, so speaking of your mom, do you want to share a little bit about how your business was influenced by your family roots and your mom? Because again, your TikTok video, for those of you watch her TikTok video about her mom, I just feel like you can feel like you are creating a legacy with what you're doing.
Oh, thanks, Jen. Yeah, my mom has influenced me in a lot of ways, and I think ever since I was young, I know a lot of Asians can resonate with their parents telling them to become like doctors, lawyers, like engineers. Yeah.
A nurse. I'm Filipino, so nurse. Be a nurse. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And my mom never did that. My mom always told me just to do whatever I loved, and it was because, and I think like also a lot of Asians, or just not even Asians, but a lot of families, a lot of children could resonate with this. But my mom, because she recognized that she didn't have a lot of opportunities growing up, she wanted to give me everything. She wanted to work as hard as she could when she was still able-bodied, so that I would have options. I could start my own company if I wanted. I could go to take more school, like do more school if I wanted. I could travel if I wanted. She gave me a lot of opportunities so that I could have that freedom. And I think that's just something that is just like so incredible about immigrant parents. They either push you to be the best, that the goal is for you to be successful.
Yes,
but they may have some different definitions of that. So the only reason why Enoki Bathhouse is even possible is because my mom allowed me, inspired me. I would like to say that for example, I paid for my own school. Like I took on a lot of loans because I didn't want that responsibility to fall on my mom. But she gave me the opportunity to know that if I started my own business and I failed, that I could lean on her. So I think I was honestly really lucky in that sense, just to know that I had a safety net if I needed it there. But yeah, that's and I mean her work ethic. She just told me the other day she wanted to return to work. She's been retired for a while, and she told me she wanted to return to work just because she's bored and she misses talking to people and working on things. And we had a long chat about that, because I don't really like the idea of my mom working again, but her work ethic, her support, her commitment to me flourishing, it's really helped me.
Yeah, so like you're continuing on this legacy because of what she's already built, right? Like she's instilled this in you. I mean, it comes with being Asian. It's like this hardworking work ethic, but it is a blessing that your mom is so supportive of you discovering what lights you up, and that she'll support you. Because I see in your behind the scenes videos on Instagram, like I see her folding the package. I see her like helping you pack everything.
Yeah, she's been helping I'm not even joking, Jen. Every weekend, Victor is my partner. We built Enoki Bathhouse together, and every weekend they would message us on WeChat and they'd be like, do you want us to come over? Like, do you need help? And it's just so incredible and I know a lot of other female Asian founders, like they built their businesses on the backbones of like their parents helping them because they couldn't afford to hire people. And yeah, she's just been so supportive. She's been helping every time we've like had an order. She's been helping us pack.
Oh, and I think that's in your video at the end when you're like talking about your mom and how like you really can't remember exactly how you said it, but like you just really want her to like be able to like live for her. And I just feel like my sense is that her helping you with your dream, it's like like her dreams coming true, like, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
through you in a beautiful way. It's just like she's contributing to like your family's legacy and you're doing it together, which is really beautiful and impactful, you know.
Yeah. I want my mom to travel the world, and I want her to experience all these things. Like that's like me in my, I don't know, first generation
Yes,
mindset. But for
yeah,
her, she doesn't want to do that. She just wants to see my sister and I grow. She wants to see us achieve our dreams. She wants to see us raise babies so that she can babysit. Like my mom's sole purpose is to see my sister and I be happy. And that's something that's really difficult, even like for me to still wrap my mind around, because I just want her to be happy. Like I want her
right,
to go do things, her to
right,
experience things, but that's not really what she wants. She just
yeah,
wants to see us.
yeah, yeah. I think our parents' generation, that's where they have the most joy, is they seeing
Yeah.
their children flourish and thrive, and for them to be a part of that, you know. um, I'm getting choked up. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next. Okay, so your mom. Anything else you want to say about your mom before we continue? Are you good?
I wanted to say, like, not about my mom, but you mentioned something around when you went through your entrepreneurial journey that you realized a lot of things were very like very superficial, like, you know, all these like titles that people try
Oh
to
yeah.
achieve, and wealth that they try to accumulate. I think I realized like my goal, I mean, out of school, like, of course, is like, oh, I want to get a really good job. I want to get promoted really soon. And I think in my career, I was able to do a bit of that. And then I quit my job and I went traveling and I was backpacking. I was living at hostels. I was doing that for about a year. And I realized that you don't have to have a lot of money or a lot of things to be happy. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of when you're traveling, you meet people who are so disconnected from that, like sort of like that like rat race where you're trying to like just do as much as you can, like, you know.
Right.
And they're just like, and their life seems so much happier, so much
And slower.
simpler, so much slower. And so
Uh-huh.
I realized that you don't need a lot to be happy, you know. A
Yes.
lot of these things are just built into your mind.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. 'Cause I learned that the hard way on my entrepreneurial journey. Of just like I achieved all the things, the money,
Yeah.
I had the car, the house, the title, the image, and then when I got sick, that was like, I feel like life and God's way of saying, okay, you've proven you can achieve this. Now let's go to really what matters. And that,
Right.
I would say my entrepreneurial journey is when I started to like learn how to really live,
Right.
not just live to project an image to be approved, but actually to live for my own approval, which
Yeah,
is
I love that.
huge, because I'm not, it wasn't really taught like that. Like what we're taught is like work hard and follow this sort of formula. You go to school, you get married, you do like, there's a certain way of like living. And I always felt in my gut, like, I want those things, but I want to do it in my own way, in a way that feels
Yeah.
natural and real. And so for those of you that are entrepreneurs, just trust in your instinct, especially if you're introvert or highly sensitive or an empath. Trust in your instinct, because that will lead you to the next step and the next step. You don't have to know like this big master plan. That's actually our ego trying to like sabotage us. Like we have to know everything. No, you don't. You have to just be very present and work in excellence from one step to the next step to the next step. And this is coming from someone who's a former perfectionist, highly self-critical, a workaholic. I mean, you name it. I really pushed myself really hard. So now I have deep empathy for a lot of people, because I understand what it's like to only see your self-worth through the lens of what you do instead of who you are, right?
Mm.
So yeah.
Jen, you should
Yeah.
write a book. That was powerful. That was really
Oh,
nice.
thank you. Okay, so my last question to you is, and we touched on this in the beginning, is with your business, that it really has a life of its own. What sort of legacy do you imagine that, you know, you're building with what you're creating?
Oh,
I know, deep
I
question, but
I have ever since high school, and I wish I could say like, oh, ever since I was like in elementary school, but ever since I was in high school and I learned about global warming. Sorry, this is like really steering into my passion. But
yeah.
ever since I learned about global warming, and I remember in high school I did a research article on global warming. And sorry, it's called climate change now, but back in when I was in
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
it was called global warming. And I think like that shook me. Like it's like our environment has the current status of our environment has been bothering me for like over a decade.
Yeah.
And I think being environmentally conscious is oftentimes seen as an elite thing because, you know, it's not easy to be like for even composting. Like composting isn't easy for a lot of people. And a lot of the things that bothered me about businesses are bothering me even more now. There's so much waste happening in the world,
Yeah.
and a lot of companies are very what do they call it? It's like you like pretend to be like eco environment. Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh, I can't think of the word. I know what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, it's kind of they're trying
It's performative, right?
Oh yeah. Yes, Jen. It's like performative environmentalism, and I've always wanted to build a company focused on environmentalism. Like ever since I was younger. Well, not maybe a company, but I've always wanted to like work for a company, or I've always wanted to do something around the environment. And I think when I created this bath business, it combined so many areas of my passion. It combined my love for self-care, or my, you know, the pain that I've gone through in terms of self-care, like supporting my own anxiety, kind of like disconnecting, taking care of myself. Like, that it combined my love for that. It combined my love for tea. Ever since I was little, I've always been surrounded by tea because of my grandpa, my grandma. Even though I was born in Canada, I was raised for a period of time in China because my mom couldn't take care of me because she was so busy. And so my grandparents would take care of me. And I was just always surrounded by tea. They would drink tea every single day. It was just this aroma that always ruminated in every room, in every place that I was always at. So it combines my love for self-care, for tea, and sustainability, because I want, like, even though I'm like a really small business right now, I want to do everything that I can to be as sustainable as possible. And I want to build this business that promotes sustainability as a really, like, not just to customers, as you should think about you should think about the companies that you buy from in, you know, in a sustainable light, but also telling other companies, hey, you can do this. If I can do this, you can also do this. So the legacy that I want to leave behind is reimagining, redefining the bath industry. I think it's like quite antiquated right now. It hasn't really innovated in a while.
Yes.
So I really hope to bring innovation in the bath industry for people, but also really highlight this company as a sustainable one and lead by example.
I'm getting full body chills. I'm getting full body goosebumps. Sorry? I'm getting full body goosebumps about what you're saying.
Oh my God, Jen, stop. You're so
no,
sweet.
Like, when I found your account and I was like, I resonated with that sacredness in taking baths. But I feel like when I read more about how you incorporate beauty, like, as you can tell, I love beautiful things, but there's such power in beauty and like taking a moment. I had a vision. I didn't tell you this before, but I had a vision that like you evolving your business where you actually have like these in-person like bathhouses, but it's really like exquisitely done. And I mean, I love that you have like these flowers floating in the water. I'm just like, oh my God, like, yes. Do you remember Calgon Take Me Away? But like back in it was like an old commercial. And I just feel like you are reimagining something fresh, but also rooted in something that's based in such deep heritage and tradition, but you're making it fresh, you know? So
thank you, Jen. Okay, Jen, like I've also like thought about like how cool would it be if I could open up a shop and people could come in and create their own bath formulation using like different like tea and like natural ingredients. And I just feel like that would be such a magical experience to like create your own scents and that
Yes,
like, you know,
yes.
so I love that. That's definitely something I would hopefully, I don't know if it's possible, but I
Yeah,
would love to do that.
like you have a tea bar in the front, and then maybe you even
Yeah.
like have flowers and stuff, and then there's like a high end spa on the back if you want, actually take your mix, your blend, and
Yeah.
you just go and have a nice bath, right?
I love that. It's like a tea bar, and then you have like, you could test like how the different teas like
Yes,
smell for.
yes, yes.
Love it.
We have I can't remember the name of the place, but we have this beautiful, exquisitely done tea house here, and it has a little bar that they
Oh my
handmade,
gosh.
and you can literally smell each one, and it's so serene. So that's what I was feeling into. Like there's bar in the front, and if people just want to have tea or just want to chill in the front, but then there some people are like, I need like a full on bath. Like, okay, you can go in the back,
I love that. I love that so much. That's
You
so
know.
cool.
You can look back at this video and go like, we put it out in there. We put it into
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to you in 10 years and be like, Jen, I made it happen.
Girl, your God is fast tracking you. You say you've been in business in 3 months and you're like blowing up on like TikTok and stuff. So I think it's gonna be faster than you think, really. I
You're
do.
so sweet, Jen. I don't know. I'm counting my blessings. I don't want to like, yeah, like,
You're not gonna jinx it. This is like
okay.
this is something I've learned, is that whatever is like meant for you, something that's destined for you, you can't mess it up. It's actually, you're on a wave and you just have to like try to stay on the wave. Like something's carrying you. If there's something that you're meant to like bring forth into the world, it's like it's beyond our like logical mind. It's actually something that um, is embedded in us, I feel, and that it's just about, the real work is about staying open to allow it to be expressed. That's the
Oh,
work.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap up?
No, this was a really fun conversation. I really enjoyed this.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Where can people find you?
Oh, we have a website called enokibathhouse.com. We have Instagram, Enoki Bathhouse, TikTok, Enoki Bathhouse, basically everything Enoki Bathhouse. Well, no, not everything. We only have those 3 platforms. Website, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, you create all of your marketing, like your website, all of that, right? Yourself? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think, and the packaging too. So I just feel like that whole experience, I think that's why people resonate with you, because I see when people repost their videos, they're like, they appreciate like your personal hand notes, the fact that you're like folding these beautifully done packages with your mom and your boyfriend. It's just like that sort of, you're showing that you're human, and that's why I feel like people gravitate towards you. And I honestly feel like that's like how business is meant to shift anyway in this like new
Mm,
era, to really ground into more of a deeper, authentic connection with people. People want to feel like your humanity. People don't want to be sold to
yeah.
like, hi, buy this, buy this, buy this. Like, no, I don't want to just buy anything. I want to be like mindful, and I want to actually like the
Right.
people I'm buying stuff from, you know? Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I hope I continue making people proud. I'm gonna be honest, the packing process right now takes like it's a crazy amount of time. Like
Yeah.
I think someone asked us to create a TikTok. Like I don't even think I could put it. I mean, I would have to like speed up the video in order to do it. Like because it takes me way longer than a minute to pack
Yeah.
one bathhouse. So I am rethinking the packaging a little bit, but I love everything you said about, a businesses being tied to the people, and I want to
Yeah.
continue bringing that authenticity
Yeah.
to
Well,
my
you're
to my.
doing it naturally.
Oh, thanks, Jen.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being a part of my series. I really appreciate it. Definitely, everyone, check out her page, her TikTok, her Instagram. It's just, again, for anyone that are introverts, definitely just trust that you can express yourselves in ways that it doesn't have to be loud. It can be expressive in creative ways. And I feel like Helen is a really um, beautiful and powerful example of just sharing in a way that you feel her heart, but it's like, it's effective. Like she's making money, she's blown up, and she's going to continue growing. And it's like, you don't have to sacrifice like your authenticity to be on social media. You know what I mean? Or you don't have to sacrifice your well-being, like we're talking about. You don't have to grind all the time, hustle all the time in order to make money. There's like, life isn't really meant to be lived. You're meant to enjoy like your success, right?
I love that.
Yay! Well, thank you, Helen. And for those of you that want to connect with me, you can visit me at dawningsoul.com. And I help introverted leaders own their quiet voice and their fierce power to build brands that make a big impact. And you can also find me on Instagram. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys. Bye, Helen. Thank you.
Bye.